Welcome to Pilates. My name is Sue. We're going to get started by laying on our mat today. So I do classical Pilates. It's the way Joseph Pilates intended his exercises to be presented and the flow that they come in. They make you really strong. Even the beginning exercises are never going to become easy. The more you do Pilates, the more muscle groups that you can activate and do it correctly. But if it doesn't feel challenging, then we need to change something so then you're feeling it the right way, because Pilates is hard, no matter how fit you are. Everybody starts at that same level. We're going to go ahead and start lying down. Legs will be together, feet and knees together. I'll show you different options for everything and do what feels good for you. So when we lay down, we want to try to get that whole spine to be in that mat. Open your chest. And then find your pelvis, and I'm going to have you roll the pelvis forward and back a few times. So if you put your hand in that triangle, I want your fingers and your thumb to be the same height. So the pubic bone and those hip bones are at the same plane. You might have a space under here. It just depends on your back curvature. I have a little bit of a space. I want my ribs to be pushing into the mat. So a lot of people like to push these ribs up, and then I have an arch up here. We want to keep that mid back down whenever we're doing anything. If that back is arching, we need to pull these ribs together. And I like to think about knitting the ribs like you're taking some string and you're going to pull them together, and that pushes them down. And then let's look at what your neck is doing. So I put my pony in the wrong place. We want that neck to be nice and long. Some of us have a little bit more rounded shoulders, so our neck is going to shorten. If you have a towel, then you can place the towel under your head to help lengthen it, to keep it nice and long, so we can keep lengthening that spine. Once we have that good position, I'm going to have you pull that belly in, and we're going to lift that right leg up and then press it down. You should feel just the glutes working and your abdominals pulling in and up. And it makes it much more challenging than I just lift and let my pelvis move. My pelvis is going to stay nice and strong and not move at all as I lift my leg. Now it feels like it's a lot. It weighs a lot more when that pelvis doesn't get to rotate. And I want to open my shoulders. So try not to round them. We're trying to open them. Press those triceps in. So our triceps are working quite a bit right now to keep that chest open. And that whole arm is pressing down. Hold this right leg up, pull your belly in even more, and lift that left leg. Our heels are going to be together and our toes will be slightly apart, and we call that Pilates stance. And just relax those toes and the feet. From here, we're going to just hinge at your hips and then pull it back up. Again, notice how this isn't moving, so I'm not arching and bringing those ribs up. They're staying in their place and coming up and down. And you should feel the really low abs having to activate too. 2 more here. Good, and then set 1 foot down at a time. Reach those legs out long, heels go back together, pull those feet all the way towards us, and we're going to reach all the way back with our arms. Notice your ribs again. If you can't take your arms all the way back without popping the ribs, you stop wherever you need to. Inhale up, then exhale, press down. Good. Inhale, exhale all the way back as far as you can go. And then 2 more times. And you should still feeling all of this contracting, keeping it all engaged. And then bring it all the way down. Pull that belly in, bring 1 knee up at a time using your abs. Heels come together. We're going to lift that chest up, reach those arms away, and we're going to start to pump those arms. So this is for that 100. We're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, and keep going. 5 pumps in, and then 5 pumps out. These ribs are still pulling down, so I'm not up in here. I want the ribs to be in contact. My pelvis is still nice and flat. It's not tucked. If you want, you can extend those legs up to make it more challenging. Take a peek at your pelvis though. And you can even start to lower them. We'll do 2 more here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and lower it down. Plant those feet on the ground. The next one's the roll up. I want you to think about pulling your heels to your bottom and your bottom to your heels so they're both activating. You're going to lift up the chest and your head will come along with you. So notice the difference between lifting at the head and then lifting at the chest. So my neck is still long and looking into my belly. You're going to grab onto the back of your thighs and start to peel up 1 bone at a time. And then the next bone peels up, then the next. So think like I'm rolling around my fist and rolling it all the way up. Good. And then the same thing on the way down. This bone is going to roll underneath you without leaning. So roll it underneath, feel that lower back opening up and roll all the way down. Reach it back. You can still use your hands if you need to. If you're good with that, pull it up, roll 1 bone at a time. You can keep those knees bent or you can straighten out those legs. So get that pelvis underneath you, roll it down. Control 1 bone at a time. Inhale back and exhale, peel up. Stretching it forward. We're staying lifted out of our waist when we go forward. So it's easy to collapse down. I want to stay tall, up and over, roll it back down. We're going to make this one a little bit more challenging. We're going to roll up 2 bones and then roll down 1. Roll up 2 and down 1, up 2, down 1, 2 up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then stretch it all the way forward. And go ahead and slowly roll it back down. Bring that right leg in towards your chest. Flex that left foot and press it down. And have you press this hip far away, and this knee will rotate out a little bit. We're going to stretch it up as straight as we can. So I don't want to lift that hip up. I'm pushing it as far away from me as I can. So if I curl up, I look and they're both nice and level. You're going to take it across, down and around, and belly lift it up. So pretend you have 2 poles going through those hips. They don't get a rotate. Arms are pressing down. 2 more times. And then reverse that direction. Reach it away, and then belly lifts it up. Last 2. Good. Set that leg down. We're going to flex the right leg. Left leg comes up. Reach that hip away. So the left sit bone is going to angle down towards that right foot. Take it across, down, around, and belly lift it up. Inhale, exhale, lift it up. And reverse. Good. Bring that leg down. Go ahead and control sit up. Bend your knees. Use your hands if you need to. We're going to come up to rolling like a ball. So if you have a really thin mat and a hard floor, I just would have you hold it today. If you have a little thicker mat or a cushion floor, then you can go ahead and roll. We're going to bring our heels together. You can grab those ankles or right behind your legs. We're trying to lift out of that lower back so we're not sinking. So lift up. Think about your feet being on fire and you're trying to get up as high on those sit bones as you can. Now pull those heels in to your bottom as close as you can. And you're going to measure that distance. Just look at how close they are. If you do the rolling, they need to be this close in the back portion too. So keep pulling up. Just go back 1 inch and then lift back up. Nothing sinks as I roll back. If anything, I'm just getting taller as I go back, and then bring it up nice and tall. Keep those shoulders down. You can stay doing this, or if you want to take it to the full roll, you're going to roll to the tips of the shoulder blades and then bring it back up. You're looking into that belly, and that waist is staying lifted. 3 more times. Good. Hold this next one up. Left hand will go on your right knee, right hand on that right ankle. And we're going to extend out. So knee, foot are all in that same plane. And then my ribs have to be down touching. And I'm going to pull those bellies in and then reach. At any time you can drop your head and do this exercise in this position. Watch that tailbone. Make sure you're not curling that tailbone. And we still have that nice flat position. Outside hand reaches along. Inside crosses that body. 1 more each way. And then rest down. The next one is double leg. Curl up. Find that tailbone heavy. Grab both ankles. We'll go straight up, open, and then drag it back in. Inhale and exhale. You can start to take it out a little bit lower, but watch that back. This has to stay in contact. 2 more. And then rest down. You can release that head side to side. Find those heels squeezing together, knees slightly turned out, tailbone nice and heavy. Try to straighten those legs as much as you can. We're going to walk our hands up, grab that right leg, pull it in deeper, and switch. Pull, pull. So my midline is right here. This leg and this leg have to be the same distance apart. So this leg doesn't get to go all the way down here, and unless this leg can go all the way up there. Pull it in deeper, switch. Keep pulling those ribs back in opposition. 1 more each. And rest down. Good, get that tailbone heavy. Heels are gonna be together. Knees rotate out. And use your inner thighs to straighten your legs as much as you can. That's about as straight as mine are gonna get today. You're gonna stack your hands behind your head, and you're gonna use it to lengthen that neck. Curl up, and you're gonna lower down, and then lift it up. Watch those hips. Reach them away to lift it up. And you notice here, nothing is moving here. I'm not tucking that pelvis. This isn't arching. If I go all the way down, I'm not working my abs anymore. So lower isn't better. Last one. And then rest down. And then head goes side to side. We're gonna roll onto our side. Knees are gonna be up at a 90 degree and the legs will be bent at a 90. Hands go right behind your head. And you're gonna open to the side, and you should feel the twist and the stretch right in those ribs. We're getting ready for the crisscross, and this is just showing you where we should feel it in that crisscross. 2 more times here. And last one. That's a nice stretch too. Good. And then we'll go ahead and just flip to your other side. I'll flip this way. Just open and close. Notice this hip has to stay away. It's nice and comfortable to let it come up. We got to keep it away from you. This is my super tight side, so it really likes to climb, and I feel a much deeper stretch when I keep it down. 1 more here. Okay, now feeling where we were twisting, we're going to roll onto our back and then do the crisscross. So find that tailbone heavy, curl it up. My elbows are pointing out to the side. I'm not going to bring them in. My armpit is reaching towards the knee as I twist right at that rib cage. Curl up higher and then twist and up higher twist. And then speed it up for 4, 3, 2, and last one. And rest down. Go ahead and come on up. Next one is spine stretch forward. So feet will go the width of your mat. You can keep your knees bent, or you can sit up on a pillow, or you can just kind of bring your mat up so you get a little bit more height, and that might be a little bit easier if you have tight hamstrings. Reach those arms out. We want to set up so our back is against an imaginary wall. So hips, shoulders, and head are against that wall. Shoulder blades pull all the way down. Inhale, get up on those sit bones, and then exhale, bring it forward. Stretch it forward. So this mid-back is staying against that wall, and we're stretching up and over it. Inhale, come up nice and tall. Open that chest, slide those armpits down. Keep them down as you go forward. And then come back up. 2 more times. It seems like this should be easy. This one is one of the hardest ones for me because I want to just release and go, and I'm not really getting anything out of it then. And then back up and take it down again. Reach, pull that belly back, and then bring these legs back up. You can grab behind those legs again. We're gonna find that balance, or you can reach and grab those ankles. Right leg's gonna lift up to straight, shoulders stay down, and bring it down. Left leg extends up, and down, back to that right side. I think Pilates is one of those great exercises that I think everybody should do. It helps correct imbalances. It works on our posture and our core. Both legs extend up if you want, or you can keep doing one leg at a time. Keep pulling those shoulders down. A lot of times you have no idea how weak your body is until you try to do some of these exercises. And again, even if you're a mega bodybuilder, Pilates is hard because it's completely different. 1 inch at a time, roll it back. Belly lifts and pulls you back up. Good, and then bend it. Go ahead and lay back down. We're gonna do the start of that corkscrew. So same thing, roll those knees out, heels squeeze together, open that chest. We're gonna take the legs over to the right side and bring it back in. So the opposite hip will lift up, but the rib cage isn't. So go side to side, pressing that rib cage down. Let's take the right leg over, lift at that left hip, squeeze those heels together, and pull it back in. Left leg goes over, right hip comes up, bring it back in. 1 more time each. Good, now we're gonna circle it. Take it down, around, and pull it up. Opposite direction. And stay honest. Even put your hands here. If it's coming up a little bit, then we're cheating. 1 more. Good, bend it, and go ahead and sit back up. Put your feet wide again. Knees are bent, arms reach out, press those arms down. We're gonna twist over to that right side. Now find your right hip pulling back so it's not coming off of that wall, and then dive it down. Exhale, 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 inhale, stack up, and switch. Just like that spine stretch forward, I'm pulling my belly back. I'm not collapsing forward. I'm finding that two-way stretch. My belly's pulling back, and I'm reaching. This back arm is reaching away and extending up. It's like someone's pulling you back to lift you up. 1 more each. Good, legs come together. Go ahead and turn onto your belly. Legs will be squeezed together, feet will be together. Ideally, your heels will be together and your toes, move that. Toes will be touching the ground, even the pinky. You can see my pinky can't quite do that yet. Hands underneath your shoulders. Now pull your belly off the ground so this back lengthens. We're gonna keep it long as you lift up. So you can tell here how shortened that is getting. I don't want to arch from there, I wanna arch from here. So lift, open those collar bones through those shoulders, and then take it back down. Try to reach it long to lift it up. Keep lifting that belly up. Look over the right shoulder. Nod, look to that left side. Back to center, look over the left. Nod, back to that right. And then bring it down. Pull the belly off the ground to lift back in one piece. Just come to that child's pose for a moment. And come back onto those forearms. Lift up nice and tall. Roll that pelvis up so I'm not arching at that lower back. Legs squeeze together, right leg pulls in. Take it in deeper and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. Hips don't move. Keep opening the chest, shoulders pull down your back. And one more. Good, bring it all the way down. One cheek is on your mat. Squeeze those hands into your legs. Both legs come in, knees stay together, heels together. Kick in, knees press away to kick in deeper, knees press away to kick in deeper, extend, lift up, switch to the other cheek. Then kick, 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 extend, kick, kick, kick. Keep pulling the belly up on that extension. One more each side. And then sit back to that child's pose. We'll go ahead and turn it over. We'll start in the seated position. So sit up nice and tall. Feet will be apart and pull your toes back towards you. I want you to hinge back with that flat back. You can see I'm kind of arching, so I want to be flat. I don't want to arch. Take it back as far as you can and then round it down. We can bring our hands by our thighs and peel up one bone at a time. Take those legs long and then stretch up and over like you have a big beach ball you're lifting up and over. Stack it up tall. Hinge it back. You can keep those knees bent if that worked for you last one, or you can keep them straight. Hands can go on your thighs here or behind your head. We're peeling up one bone at a time, just like we did in the roll up, and stretch up and over that big ball. Stack it back up, hinge it back. We want to press with those hamstrings into that mat and roll down. We'll do two more here. Whichever way works for you. On this way down, really focus on the controlled one bone touching at a time for that articulation. Last one. Mat Pilates makes you really strong because you have no assistance of springs from any of the equipment, and it never gets easy. Master trainers who have been doing it for 30 years still find it challenging and still need to be corrected. Good, let's go ahead and turn on to our side. Feet are gonna be at the front, your body's at the back of your mat. Top leg is gonna reach really long. So this is where I'm nice and comfortable. I wanna be, my waist is off the mat because they're both working. Sometimes I keep my hand up here just so I don't cheat. You can have it here. Rotate it out, and that knee's turned up to the ceiling. You're gonna lift it to hip height. You're gonna sweep it forward and sweep it back. None of this gets to move. I'm not moving my pelvis. And then sweep forward, reach back. Two more times. And then heel to heel. Reach this heel longer to kick it up and bring it back down. Make yourself be honest on this. It's really fun to do this because we can, but not if we're using the glute. If you keep that hip down, that's as high as I can get it, and it's all that small muscle. It doesn't look as cool, but you know you're doing it the right way. 2 more, and you feel it way more. Good, and then circle. Half a circle in front, half a circle behind that heel. 2 more times, and then reverse it. Keep reaching it long, so each circle's trying to like spiral out further. Trying to touch that wall in front of you. Good, heels come together, turn onto your belly. Belly's lifted up, head goes onto those hands, and then feet go in and out. Nice and quickly, we're gonna do 10 beats. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and turn to the other side. I'll flip it over. Body at the back of your mat. Legs at the front. Feel that hip. Now your heel should be down and your pinky toe should be down. We're gonna sweep it forward and sweep it back. And then heel to heel, lift. This is my even weaker glute side, so I can't even lift as high. When I'm being honest, 3 more. And then circle. As you stretch and things work differently, you'll start to be able to activate more muscles. It took me 2 years to really feel the small glute muscle when I'm doing these side kicks. Good, bring them together, roll back onto your back. The next one is teasers. We're gonna keep our knees down to start. Squeeze them together. The further away your feet are, it's gonna be easier. Up in here is really hard to get up. Reach those arms, you're gonna start to peel off. So think about the hip bones rolling up first. As you roll it up, reach it up nice and tall, open that chest, and then scoop, roll it back down. 2 more times. Roll it up, lift, and roll down. Last one. We're gonna do another set. You can keep it here if that was a challenge. If that was easy, we'll do teaser 1. So find that neutral pelvis, reach those arms out, legs extend. We're gonna keep reaching out of those hips, roll those hips up first, lift that chest, and scoop, and roll it down. I like to think about someone reaching, pulling my legs away, and then I don't have to think about holding them, because my imaginary friends got them for me. And bring it back down. Good, let's go ahead and sit up. We have 1 more exercise. Bring those legs together. This is the seal. You're gonna come to prayer position, dive those hands through, and try to wrap them around. If that's not an option for you right now, we'll just go back here. Nice thing about Pilates, you do what you can, and as you get stronger, you'll be able to do more. So we're gonna have the soles of the feet together, even if you're holding here, soles of the feet. Open the hips and close. So I'm not clapping with my feet, I'm clapping with my hips. So 3 claps here, 1, 2, 3. We're not gonna roll today, we'll just go back an inch, come back up, 3 claps, 1, 2, 3, and back up, 3 more claps. 2 more. And last one. And then bring it all the way up. You can sit comfortably, whatever way that is for you. Try to sit up nice and tall, not pushing those ribs forward. Find that imaginary wall behind you. Open that chest. You can press those arms straight down. Look over your right shoulder. Nod that chin. Feel that nice stretch. Roll it all the way to that left side. And back to center. Look over the left shoulder. Nod. Roll to that right side. Back to center. Inhale, stretch up nice and big. And then exhale it down. 1 more time. Inhale up. And then exhale down. And you're all done. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope to see you next time.